Hello, my friends. I'm the Hunter here from amnohunter.com. Happy to spend some time with you in another video. This time around, I want to share with you my 5 favorite free compressor plugins in 2024. All right. I already did a couple of videos sharing my top 5 EQ plugins and my top 5 delay plugins, and this is a video series that I will continue to fill with these videos. All right, you can look up for the playlist, and I'm gonna be sharing my top 5 or top 6 plugins of different categories. Right, so this time around it's the turn of the compressors. Right, compressors are super useful tools to shape your mixes, to shape your sounds, to add punch, to control the dynamics, to basically it's like the equalization compression. It's the second best and most important thing to mix a song, right? Mix and master a song. So as usual, I will leave you all of the applicable links in the video description and the first comment in case that you want to try them out, download them, and the links are gonna be down below in the description and the first comment. Also, I will leave you some timestamps in case that you want to move around between the mini segments of the video. Before we begin with the content, let me invite you quickly to my website amnohunter.com, where you can grab some additional freebies, such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players, also some free tools, such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample packs, among other utilities, and finally, don't forget to check out this channel or my blog, which I am updating almost every day with content like this. Let me know if you are here on the live stream. I am always happy to read your comments, engage in conversations with you. Let me know what are your favorite compressor plugins. That would be an interesting topic to know, right? So let me share my screen here, my DAW. Okay, let me turn on the light here. Okay, so let's begin with the MCOMPRESSOR by Melda Production Audio. Right, this is a compressor that I have been using for many years. It's pretty standard, pretty normal compressor. That's basically why I use it, and because it has also a visual representation of the compression curve and also a metering section. And yeah, this is a very transparent compressor. You know, you have the usual controls: threshold, attack, ratio, release, output to compensate, and it also has 3 knee modes: hard knee, more aggressive compression, linear, and soft compression, right? And also it has some presets, of course, and you can also measure the compression in RMS, like that. To the left, right, it's measuring more like the average loudness, the average dynamic range, and yeah, I believe the more you turn this to the right, you are less measuring the RMS. You are now measuring more the peaks in terms of the peaks, right? So I always leave it at default here. And so yeah, it's pretty basic compressor. I use it across different elements, individual elements in a mix, across different instruments. If I don't have access to other compressor or something, this is my go-to basically. And yeah, it can be used for many applications if you know how to use well the attack, release, ratio settings. So let's check it out on these drums. Okay, so for instance, for drums, let's put a healthy ratio 3:4. Let's put a slow attack time, fast release time. Okay, and let's start to lower. Now we see the compression here on reduction. before. Okay, I like to see here the gain reduction being like at the beat, at the in rhythm with the song, right, or with the drum track in this case. Let's compensate a bit before. Okay, and we can also, for instance, use a fast attack time, slow release time to get more of the body. We're killing the attack, the transient pretty much. Before, after, right? Depending on the application where you want to use it. Let's move on with the next free compressor in this list. This one by Analog Obsession, the DBCOMP, of course, emulation and inspired in the legendary DBX160, meant for percussive elements. I love this compressor to add a ton of smack, a ton of snap and punch to drums. And yeah, that's pretty much where I use it the most, on drums or percussive elements. All right, so yeah, this is a compressor, very simple to use as well. With this, it's like the ratio, right? You set the ratio here. This is the one that you start to lower to start getting the incoming signal. Okay. You have a high pass filter here, internal side chain, in case that you want to ignore the low end of the signal, because in that way it will not make the compressor react, right? And sometimes you want to leave some low end out of the question here. And dry wet functionality and output control, and here you are gonna see the gain reduction. Let's check it out. For instance, I'm gonna set a 4:1 ratio also on drums. Okay, so I'll start to lower the threshold here. A ton of smack, right? The kick drum especially before. Yeah, it reacts very, very quickly to the information, incoming signal. As you see here, the needle is very quickly recovering to 0 decibels. Right, great compressor by Analog Obsession. And let's move on with the next compressor in this list. I'm gonna use it here on the mix bus. This is the BUSTERSE SE by Analog Obsession. It's inspired, of course, if you know the design, the solid state bus compressor, the SSL bus compressor, right? Very legendary compressor. It works great on buses, it works great on the master or on the mix bus. To glue everything, it has a very musical compression curve. And yeah, basically you have here the threshold, the makeup, gain, attack and release, ratio, dry wet or mix knob functionality, and also you have sidechain functionality, which, to be honest, I don't use it. I use more the compressor section, right? So for instance, I am gonna compress a stereo mix here. I have it on the mix bus. So for that, I use the slowest attack time and fastest release time, right? I don't want it to kill the transients. I want to to preserve the impact of the mix. Therefore, I am using the slowest attack time on this compressor, which is 30 milliseconds, fastest release time. And yeah, let's use a 3:1 ratio. Wet, it's 100% here. So let's start to lower the threshold here till I see maybe 2 or 3 decibels here, especially on the chorus. Sticks and stones are tearing me until you start breaking me down to my bones. C4. And fill me with spirit, sword, shield, and armor. The auto release time, it's sometimes very useful on other instruments or buses. Sometimes it can be sometimes it doesn't work, the auto release time. Let's check it out here. It's a bit slower. Your strength's on display in spite of me. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't react how I want it to be, so I always set here, for instance, on the mix bus, right? These settings. Your strength's on display in spite of me. Sticks and stones. Yeah, it's subtle, but it's super cool. It sort of glue everything. All of the dynamics from all of the instruments are like glued. The mix feels a bit more cohesive to my ears, at least, using these types of compressors on the mix bus, right? And with 2 to 4 decibels of gain reduction, the slowest attack time to not kill the transient information, I think it's a very useful compressor for buses and mix bus, like I said, right? So let's go to the next compressor here in this list. I'm gonna use it here on acoustic guitars. Let's see where I have. Okay. All right. So this is the XTMAX by Kiive Audio, and this, of course, it's inspired in the legendary Distressor compressor by Empirical Labs, right? Very, very cool on drums as well, on percussive elements, but you can use it on bass guitar, you can use it on keyboards, on vocals. Here I'm gonna use it on acoustic guitars, and yeah, it's a very, very cool compressor also to add punch, to glue things together. And yeah, it has an input and output, right? And they are, by default, they are linked. Here we have the attack, 3 settings: slow attack time, medium attack time, and fast attack time, and also release time: slow, medium, and fast release time, right? And it has also a knee, hard knee, more aggressive compression, or soft knee, right? I like the combination of both, and also an internal sidechain filter here to ignore out of the compression that portion of the frequency range, right? It also has an automatic gain compensation, and here you're gonna see the gain reduction. Also has oversampling and a mix knob, general mix knob, right? Yeah, pretty cool. Let's check it out here on this these acoustic guitars. Okay, let's control the dynamics. Let's use a medium attack time, medium release time. Before. yeah, more consistent sound of the acoustic guitar. Let's use fast attack time, for instance. Yeah, sometimes acoustic guitars have percussive sounds, so sometimes might be useful in a fast attack time, but in this case I think medium attack time and medium release time, it's good. By the way, these are also fast compressors, so they react quickly to the audio. Medium, it's fine, I think. Compressing a bit too heavily. Let's undo here auto gain. Before. Yeah, it's making it a bit too clicky, perhaps, so that's why I think we don't need a lot of compression here. Yeah, in that way, every part of the acoustic guitar sound will be heard in the context of the full mix. Like I said, great compressor for drums as well, for vocals, but in this case I just wanted to test it on a different instrument, in this case acoustic guitar. Alright, let's check out another compressor here in this list, or the last compressor. Yeah, I'm gonna test it here on vocals, on the lead vocal, for instance, here. Okay, so I am talking about this is probably the latest release, if I'm not mistaken, of these five plugins. This is the vocal compressor by Bertom Audio. This compressor, it's pretty much like an alternative to the Waves compressor. What's the name of that compressor? I forgot, sorry. But it's a compressor that it's very simple to use because you don't need to mess around with attack, release time, ratio, and stuff like that. Everything is pretty much fixed and ready for compressing vocals, which vocals need some heavy amount of compression due to the nature of vocals. It's a pretty dynamic instrument, and sometimes you need like compression and limiting in one. And this compressor, it works great, of course, for this effect, to control every nuance of the vocal signal, and to have a very consistent vocal performance, so that we can understand every phrase, every word, to get the message across, right? So yeah, it has two controls here. One is to compress, the more you lower this control, and the other one to trim, and you can link both of these, which comes very, very in handy. Yeah, with the trim you can pretty much compensate the volume that you might lose, the perceived loudness that you might lose due to the compression. It also has a high frequency sensitivity control here, and a mix control as well. 100% is by default. So let's check it out on this vocal track. Sticks and stones are tearing me into. You notice some dynamics, of course. It's part of the nature of vocal recordings and human voice, right? So we are trying to squeeze a bit the dynamics, so that every nuance of the vocal is properly heard. Let's check it out here. Let's lower it linked. Let's lower these controls with this link.
Sticks and stones.
Here we see the gain reduction.
Are tearing me until you start.
Now let's increase this.
Sticks and stones.
For instance, in this portion.
Are tearing me until you start breaking me down to my bones and fill me with spirit, sword, shield, and armor.
Everything is more heard, right? Let's check it out in context of the full mix. Before first.
Sticks and stones are tearing me until.
Yeah, it's a great vocal performance, great recording, but we need some compression for the vocals to be consistent, because there are some peaks and valleys, right? Normal peaks and valleys that might hide or that get buried in the mix a bit. So with this, we have a very consistent vocal sound.
Sticks and stones are tearing me until you start breaking me down to my bones.
Let's compress it heavily
and fill me with spirit, sword, shield, and armor.
Yeah, every detail of the vocal is heard. Let's check it out, this final part. Right? Every breath, every nuance is there. So yeah, very cool compressor for vocals. My go-to pretty much for vocal mixing in seconds, really. So please let me know what you think of these plugins, these 5 plugins. I am very interested to know your opinions. I see here some people in the chat. Acoustic, hello Acoustic, how are you today? Hey Amner says, sorry, I'm in the studio working, sir. No worries, I use that compressor on a couple of songs. It works on certain songs, not all. Compressors are something you can't have enough of. They all have different colors. I agree with you, Acoustic. Very different compressors for different applications. Although you can survive, you could survive, of course, with pretty much these 5 compressors for everything. I mean, free compressors, right? Wolf Lover 789. First time I've ever caught one of your live shows. I am a fan. Wolf Flower, sorry. Thanks a lot. Glad that you caught the live stream. Thanks for checking out the content. Thanks to you for showing me when BFD Player came out. Oh, for sure. Great drum plugin, right? Acoustic, good stuff. Gary Thompson is here. Hello everyone, much love to you all. Hello Gary, all of the love is back to you, my friend. Love you too, Gary says. Wolf Lover 789. Thanks a lot, you guys. Before we leave, let me invite you one last time to my website, where you can grab some additional freebies, such as some free PDF guides and ebooks for music producers and guitar players. Also some free tools, such as some collections of guitar impulses, some collections of drum sample packs, among other utilities. And finally, don't forget to check out this channel or my blog, which I am updating almost every day with content like this. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, appreciate your time here and your support. Yeah, hit like, hit the thumbs up, and I will appreciate it also very much. Take care, bye bye, and I will see you very soon.